Alright, we're off. It's Sunday today, so it should be nice and quiet at the gym. I realised earlier in the week, this is like I think I've just recorded about 41 of these now. This might be the 41st video. So if you've been watching along and you'd like me to talk about something specific, if it's about Navexa or about small business stuff or startups, let me know in the comments, because I'd be keen to whoa, hoarse throat this morning. Be keen to know what you guys are interested in hearing about, because I'd love to keep it relevant. So my plan is to record 100 of these videos without changing the format, and then kind of reviewing what worked, what didn't, and then set off again from there. Because I think I'm changing my mindset about things to start setting a minimum benchmark of hundreds. So whether that's 100 days, 100 hours, 100 episodes. I think it's so easy to kind of say, oh yeah, I'm going to do something, and then you do it for like a couple of days and give up. You're like, oh, it's not working. But it's like, it would have worked, you just didn't stick with it. So as per usual, I've stolen this idea from Alex Hormozi, but thinking in hundreds I think is a good way of doing it. So 100 episodes, and we'll see where we're at. But I think whoa, sorry about that. I think working a job is an interesting topic that I often talk with co-founder Tom about, because most people I know don't run a business, they have a job. And most people I know have never even thought about running a business. And it's often a topic I've wondered, why is that? And because going through school, you never really taught about, I don't think I was taught at all by my teachers or anything, that running a business was an option. You learn that these businesses exist and big companies exist, but you're never taught about, a human started that business from nothing. And yes, now today it might employ like 50,000 people, but at some point it was one person. And that person could be you. And I think it's a big disservice not teaching people that there's more to it and that you could create that business. Oh man, getting a bit of a cold. But I think more people would be way more suited to running a business than working a job. A lot of people I speak to don't really like their job, would happily not go to their job if that was even a slight option. Whereas I work for myself and could literally just take a month off if I wanted to. But that, weirdly enough, and it's hard to understand until you've been in this situation, taking a month off right now would be a terrible thing for me. I would hate it, because it's like, I've got so much to do, so much awesome stuff to do. Why the hell would I want to take a month off? And people don't understand it, and it's a similar reason why I like Mondays, because it's like you've got a whole week ahead of you to do stuff. People are like, what are you talking about? You like Mondays? So if you're watching this and you've never started a business, but you've always thought about it, I definitely recommend giving it a go. It doesn't even have to be something big. It can be something as easy as going on Facebook Marketplace, finding undervalued items buying them and reselling them for their correct value. There's a business. And you can do that with cars. Cars, I reckon, are a great one to get started with, because there's always somebody underselling their car who just wants to get rid of it. They bought a new car, or they've had this old second car and it's just kind of like sitting out the front of their property and they don't want to use it. And all it would take is you to come in and be like, hey, I've got $1,000 in cash right here. Take that car. And you'd be amazed how many people would take that. And then you go on car sales or Gumtree or whatever and sell it for $2,000. And there's an instant grand. So there's a business there as well. But we're at the gym. We'll be back in a minute. All right. So, finished up the gym. Welcome back. So where was I? Talking about starting a business. So I think, and I talked a bit about this before, but I'll go on a little bit of a rant. So I think society tells you the classic, which is you go to school, go to uni, get a job. Or you go to school, get a trade, get a job. And in fact, I've seen more entrepreneurialism, if that's a word, I think so, from tradies, because tradies soon recognise they work for somebody else. They're building or landscaping or plumbing or whatever it is, and they quickly realise, hey, I could do this. I could start my own plumbing firm and hire a few plumbers I know and do some jobs. And so I see them becoming business owners a lot more than I see other people I've worked with in the professional sector. But the thing is, what I don't understand is I hear people go to their jobs every day and they just hate it. And they're like stressing out and like busting their ass to get like a $5,000 pay rise or whatever it might be. And I'm thinking like $5,000 pay rise. I was like, just try and sell a product or sell an extra few units of whatever and you can make $5,000. But I feel like they just don't know any better. And they never even think about business owners and like, how do you become a business owner? And it's pretty easy. You can register a company for free, get a bank account, start trading. Like, the barrier of entry is so low. You don't have to pay an accountant to start it up or anything. You can register as a sole trader really quickly, go into whoever you bank with and get a bank account, and then off you go. You don't really need to worry about GST registration until you hit a certain threshold in Australia. I think it's like, don't quote me, I think it's 70,000, somewhere around there. But yeah, you can basically get up and running. When my brother and I started the finance brokerage in New Zealand, we literally got that up and running in like a day. I built a quick website in a few hours that captured a loan application form, and set up some Google ads, pointed it at the website, and I said to him, if we can get 10 people apply, then we'll shut it down, we'll build it out properly, and we'll get going. And we literally got 10 people apply in like an hour or two, and that validated the business. That was like a day's work, validated a business, and then kicked things off from there. Then I built out a proper website, a proper form, all the good stuff. But you can validate businesses pretty quickly, and you don't need to invent like the next Facebook or whatever. You can literally start a business that already exists, but just do it better, quicker, cheaper, any one of those metrics. So if you've been thinking about it, just get started. It's a side. You can do a side hustle for quite a long time. You don't have to quit your job straight away. And like I was saying before, buying and selling cars is a really interesting one because it's so easy. Like, you can buy and sell a few cars before you need to be a registered dealer. But that's what I did and my brothers did growing up. You could go to, I lived in Christchurch in New Zealand. We'd go to Turner's. My last one I ever did before I left New Zealand was I went to the damaged vehicle auction at Turner's, and there was an old 90s Holden Barina, red one. And the reason it was in the damaged vehicle auction is because it had no key and it had a slight dent in the door, and that was it. So we didn't know if it the engine worked or anything. So I took a gamble. I think I bought it for $500. So then when I took over possession of it, whipped out the key barrel out of the door, took it to the locksmith, they made a key, went back to Turner's, put the key in, and bam, it started straight up. And I drove it to the Warriner Fitness Centre, passed the warrant, no repairs or anything needed. And then I had a Holden Barina for $500. And then a few months later, I moved to Australia. I think I sold it for $1,500. So it's like, bam, $1,000 profit. So that's how easy it is. You can make an extra grand with some of that stuff. But pulling up at home, I hope you have a good weekend if you're listening to this on the weekend. And on that note, get after it.